Welcome to Conscious Business Talks. And today is Thanksgiving Day in the United States. And all of my friends who are celebrating, I really wanted to wish you all a really amazing, grateful, joyous Thanksgiving Day. And because it's Thanksgiving, and I think any time that we can give thanks and share our gratefulness, hey, more power to it. I'm all for it. So, frankly, I want to give thanks for all the amazing people in my life, all the opportunities, and even the challenges that come up that make me see life in a way that I haven't seen before. So I'm grateful to be here with you and all of you who show up today to keep me company. I say thanks to you, and I love the fact that you're here. Hey, Larissa, I'm so glad you're here, love. It's wonderful to see you, as always. And today I wanted to share something. A friend of mine, I was visiting a friend. Gosh, this is before this whole thing started. So a couple of years ago, I was in Idaho and Boise, actually. And a friend of mine had this book. It's called Breakthrough Advertising. I had certainly heard of Gene Schwartz before, but I had not read the book, and he had the book. And I remember looking at it. And today, another friend shared. Actually, he gifted me a copy of it. So it was just incredible because I looked at it. I started reading the introduction, the preface, the praise of it. And I don't know what it is about seeing mastery in action. The words from a master on paper, it just brought so much joy to my heart because I was looking at the craft and what went into creating that craft and just the emotions that it inspired in me, along with gratefulness for my friend who shared it with me in the first place. Thank you. I truly appreciate the gift and the thought behind it. And also, it also inspired the desire for me to share this gift with you and share with you some of the things that brought joy to my heart as I was reading it. So this is a homage, a tribute, and just incredible appreciation for a master, Gene Schwartz, and what he brought and created value for entrepreneurs in this world by sharing his work and putting his thoughts on paper to share with all of us. So, hey, that's the thought on my mind today. And bear with me, I'm just looking for my notes because I know I created that to give me some ideas as to what I wanted to, especially the parts that brought some thoughts to my head today. And it was such a cool idea. The words that he used, it was conceptual midwives. And I thought, conceptual midwives. And then because creativity and conception of ideas, especially when you bring it consciously into the sphere of your world, it is so tied into what we as conscious business owners bring into the world and share with the people that we want to add value to, whose lives. It is such an integral part of it. It caught my attention and just lit sparks all through it, going conceptual midwives. And why? It's because we, as he put it, we help to give birth to new markets for our products. And even taking it a little bit further, new ideas that we shape into products to bring to the markets. Like, how cool is that idea? And it just brought such a smile to my face as I was reading it, because doesn't the word conceptual midwives, doesn't it tickle your fancy? Like, what the heck is this person talking about? And what an interesting way to think about things in the first place, right? Putting ideas, but in a way that creates a new world of ideas in your head. And I'm thinking, wow, entrepreneurs to me are like amazing rock stars in the first place, right? Because we create these worlds out of ideas, and we take our dreams even when they seem preposterous to other people, and we go after them full force even when we have no idea what the next step after the step immediately in front of us is going to look like. And it brings me joy to create the support around it, so we minimize the unknown as much as possible. And we take risks, but we take calculated risks so that we are not wasting the resources that are sometimes so hard to come by. And this whole thing about conceptual midwives just appealed to me on so many levels, because I'm like, oh, that's it. We help all those things take form. And what better way to do it than to continue bringing what we can to aid the efforts of all of those conceptual midwives out there, because each one of us creates differently. We conceive of ideas differently. And when we share and add to the conceptions of other people around us, to me, that cannot help but create wonderful worlds upon wonderful worlds, just exponentially. So on this day that my American friends are celebrating and giving thanks for, and again, if you go into the history of it, there is good and bad associated with what is, this whole idea about the Thanksgiving Day. But when we take the good out of something and just build on that good, that even the things that weren't so great in association, this is my belief and my opinion, but they certainly allow us to acknowledge, but perhaps minimize the bad and share the good with all of the people, just so as a collective humanity, we come out better and we benefit together, and we build on things that allow us to celebrate the potential of who we are as humans. Does that make sense? Let me take a look at the comments and see what you're sharing, because this is certainly something that lights me up, and I want to see what you're thinking. Oh, it's mutually, absolutely, that sentiment is mutual. I'm grateful to have you in my life and to share thoughts and ideas with you, Larissa. And any day that we get to spend time with each other, it's a cool day. And yes, we create our world from undead and feelings. Yes, it's ideas and feelings. I think that's what you're saying. Are you? Okay. Yeah, autocorrect is a thing. Oh, there you go. Ideas and feelings. Because I'm like, yes, auto text indeed does crazy things with words. We share our worlds from ideas and feelings. We certainly do. And because we have this amazing ability as human beings to create new worlds from ideas and feelings, and you're right, feelings lead to, I believe they lead to us creating. So perhaps feelings and emotions and the ideas that we link to them, they're the foundation for the creation that we bring into this world. Tell me what you think about that. Here we go. Let me see the latest comments. In your opinion, feelings are much stronger in creating. They are, right? Because they allow us to, I think, link. They're like that bridge that allow us to sort of grab a thread and then just go on and follow that thread over that bridge into the world of creation, right? So whenever I am looking at works of art, and to me, writing is part of that. It's creation on paper, right? It's just Whether I'm looking at a work of art, whether it's a painting or it's poetry or prose, you can see, and frankly, to me, there is art in business and bringing our ideas into fruition. And then we can analyze the fruits of what we create, and know whether, what the intention behind it and the effort behind it, how it's turning out in actual form, right? How cool is that? How cool is that? And it brings me just, when I look at somebody's craft, it's amazing to me how the work of a master stands out, because the effort and the intention behind it, just the investment of that person pouring into their craft, it's evident. And mastery takes work. You can't achieve mastery instantly. It is not something that is going to give us instant gratification, but every step towards that mastery, it brings so much value and it adds so much joy into the lives of people who connect with it. And that is my inspiration towards mastery, right? To go deeper into something and pour my individuality, taken from the collective around me, because no person exists in a vacuum. And when we take that and we add all of those things and pour into something that, with our effort, our work, our creativity, our potential, our special, whatever unique perspective that we have into it, by repetition, by adaptation, little by little, we become so masterful at it. And that's my dream for me, that becoming so masterful at my craft that everybody who comes in contact with it derives the same kind of joy or more that I get out of every interaction with the craft of a master. Just even the thought of it lights me up. It's let me see what you're saying. Larissa, we mold our paths in the future through our ability to relate. Absolutely. And as human beings, isn't that such a beautiful gift, that ability to relate? And in today's world, this is one of the things that I keep sharing with people, that with all the distancing and the politics and the things that make us sad, and I was very much being affected by it even as early as this morning, but whenever something that gives you joy, allows you to be able to relate to the people around you, put yourself in their shoes even for a moment, all of those things pull you out of that rut and over the gap of division into the world where you can connect with other humans. So for me, this is huge. We mold our paths in the future through our ability to relate, because those paths in the future, those are what should be shining beacons for us, that where is it that we want to go? The gaps that divide us are not going to get us there, are they? So I would rather look at where those paths seem to be leading and look at it saying, am I feeling aligned? Am I feeling connected? And where am I going? And Matt says, mastery seems to bring me to a point where I realize I'm not a master yet. Oh, I love that, because it is not a static thing, is it? Everything we're doing, it continues to evolve as we do, and those around us and things around us do. So I don't think it ever stops, and it shouldn't, because our potential continues to. I am happiest when it's just out of reach for me, close enough, but just out of reach for me, so that I know I'm continuing to grow and develop. And this soul of mine, I'm continuing to see each new facet that gets revealed to me. As a human, as a business owner, as a leader, all of those things, oh my gosh, that's some of the funnest stuff. Like that growth, that everlasting, evergreen quest for mastery. And Larissa, work, effort, and time, the journey through these is more enjoyable than last result. Yes, because the process in itself becomes a gift. You, with ever-changing things, with things that are unknown, we can't always predict what is going to be the end result. We can take educated guesses. We can continue to explore and hone, pivot, and tweak. But we can't really guarantee exactly what's going to be because so much of it is unknown. There are unknown variables that can come in and just change that final effort sometimes, right? So, but what we can know is the process and what we're doing, that journey itself. As long as we are committed to it, we know where we are aiming for, the direction is known to us, the dream that we have is in front of us to go towards, and we know that the process itself is something that we're committed to and enjoying along the way. I think that brings so much fun and lightness and energy into it that allows us to bring even more creativity into it. That is, to me, it's part of the thing that just energizes me. So on this beautiful day, and it didn't start that beautifully for me. There were parts of it that my heart was so sad. It was, there were things going on in the family, my dad's health. There was a bunch of things that were adding weight. And then the atmosphere, when I see and witness division, it does bring me down. But the thing is that when I was feeling that contraction, that's when those touches of joy and brightness just little by little pulled me out to the point where now I'm so energized. I feel so amazing that I'm like, okay, I'm a go. Even just before jumping on our session today, our talk, I just had a quick call with my dad in the hospital. He's there right now. And the tone, the emotion of the conversation was so different, because had I talked to him earlier this morning, it would have been a little forced. But right now, there was so much lightness infused into it because I feel light. I feel joyous. I feel energized. And frankly, that just makes me appreciate all those little instances, those touch points, those people that help me connect to what really is and what really is the best of us. So I am truly honored to share this moment with you, and I can't wait to see you and share more as we go along this path. I've decided for the time being to switch back to the Thursday until my dad is out of the hospital, just because it was taking a lot. It was taking a lot from everybody. And as I looked at myself and I looked at the people around me, and I thought to myself, one of my things is to not be committed to the grind, to show and model a better way of doing life and business with people I love. And that's you and all my entrepreneur friends out there, right? And who I connect with, I draw inspiration from, I help create better businesses. And I thought to myself, that's really not a great thing to model, to keep getting drained and try to show up with ever depleting reserves, not be able to give to the people who need me at the moment and not be able to give to myself to replenish the resources that I feel are draining. Like I could see it in my face. It was so tired. My energy was getting contracted. And with all the demands on my time, I thought to myself, I can't do this without depleting to the point where I don't have much to give. So but it felt like, oh, well, then I'm kind of bailing out. I'm giving up. What kind of, this is going to look flaky to people, right? And I thought to myself, that's a story, because in showing up inauthentically, there is more damage and danger in false modeling than me actually being true to what is present, taking care of it fully, and showing up powerfully when I connect with you. So that's the reason why I'm going to not show up until next Thursday at 8:30 Eastern time instead of the weekly schedule that I had set up, at least not until I have more on what's happening with my dad, so I can continue to give with energy and creativity to all that I'm committed to. So thank you so much for being here. Love you. And I can't wait to see you next Thursday at 8:30 Eastern time. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, regardless of whether you're celebrating Thanksgiving or not. And if this video, if this share, if this talk brought value to you, please share it with anybody who you believe it will bring value to. And together we just end up spreading the message even more. Cheers. See you next Thursday.